I watched the first 25 seconds of this video and concluded it's bad, leaving a dislike.
Sloppy, that was one of the greatest takes I've ever encountered. Blah, 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 blah.
I think my last video may have upset some people. Specifically, my opinions on Hollow Knight, which, in hindsight, was pretty ballsy of me. Everyone came for my neck like I just kicked a puppy. And you see, I would have laughed and screamed at you guys for getting upset, but I'm a professional. So I beat the game. Yeah, give it to me. That's not enough proof. Need even more proof? Fuck off. Today I'll cover the bad, the good, and give my final thoughts to see if devoting 18 hours to this game changed my opinion. Let's start with the bad, since that really hurt some feelings last video. To start off, this game is filled with bugs. Yeah, we're starting off strong. You guys remember freshman year of high school? They give you a shitty layout of the school, and it's your job to traverse the insect-infested halls and make it to class. That's kind of how Hollow Knight's navigation system is. Except here, the bugs are literal, and the map doesn't really make much sense. You don't start with a map, and when you finally buy one, it's blank. You have to sit on a bench just to update it. There were times when I opened the map and realized it's blank. I just sat there, staring at it, like a divorced dad trying to find himself again. Fast travel doesn't really exist until late game, so half the time you're going back and forth between slightly familiar places, hoping you're going the right way. And that makes the pacing start so slow. You ever watch a YouTube apology video that takes forever to get to the point? That's what this is like. Until you get the dash and wall jump, exploration feels like a chore. Then, when you finally get some freedom, some new paths lead to dead ends, shortcuts to places you've already been, or shiny things that barely matter. It took me 12 hours before I got the double jump, which is more than half of my playthrough. Then there's the combat. Combat's good once you learn it, but variety isn't really part of the deal. You're using the same nail for the entire game, just slightly sharper each time. Damage goes up, reach goes up, but the swing never changes. It's still the same 3-frame attack you started with. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy it when games give you options and some freedom in what weapons you get to choose, and that option is just not here. And that's where the charms try and pick up the slack. The charm system does look deep on paper, but early on you get just a few notches, so customization really means deciding which feature you're okay living without. You can only swap charms at benches, which turns experimenting into backtracking. Not so much creative freedom, but more so sacrifices. I ended up using the same 3 for most of the game, not because it was fun, but because I'm bad at navigating, and most of the charms I had felt pretty insignificant. Some of them felt more like emotional support accessories rather than upgrades. The story's delivered through vague dialogue and stone tablets that read like riddles. Nobody gives you a straight answer, call me a smooth brain or whatever, but you have 2 options: piece everything together yourself, or watch a 40-minute lore video to understand what the hell you just did. Yeah, it's mysterious, sure, but it leaves a lot unanswered, especially if you miss a hidden room with a secret stone tablet. Say you do go searching for all the lore, and you just so happen to die. You drop all your geo and your soul. Then you have to do the walk of shame, barefoot and all, trying to avoid death again. I never died while backtracking, but I did look it up. Apparently, you lose all your geo. If you ask me, that's pretty fucking metal. Your only option is to get good. That leads me to accessibility. I looked on Steam and seen only 23.5% of players beat the Hollow Knight, which, as far as I know, means less than 3/4 of people who buy the game beat it. And please do correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure some people may argue if you aren't good enough, you shouldn't play this game. But there's also that huge fan base that believes everyone should experience a game. The issue with that is some people just can't get good. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the devs wanted that. A game that filters players down to the ones who want to push through. And that's fine if that's a vision. But it also means a big chunk of people will never see how good the rest of the game actually gets. Speaking of good, the most obvious is art and animation. Every frame looks like it was made by someone who hasn't seen sunlight since 2016. And I mean that as a compliment. Green Path glows, Deep Nest crawls with unspeakable things, and the City of Tears is the obvious standout. The music, lighting, and even the rain, it's almost impossible not to stop and just stare for a second. It's all smooth, consistent, and beautiful, just like the sound work. It's ridiculous. The faint drip of water, the echo of the wings, the scream of a boss, it all ties so well together. I won't say it's the best in any indie game, but it's definitely up there. Kind of comforting to hear while you're running back to the boss you died to countless amount of times. And once you do finally unlock all your movement tools, the world clicks together. Shortcuts open, paths loop back, and now the maze you hated becomes a Metroidvania IKEA. Everything is beautifully connected, but you still get lost while looking for a bathroom, or in this case, a bench. It's as if the world only makes sense after you suffered enough. One thing I really adore though is how the areas blend into each other. When you leave Green Path and enter the City of Tears, the colors start fading, the plants thin out, the rain creeps in. It prepares you for the next maze without feeling too abrupt. Okay. I must admit, even with the limited weapons, combat feels nice and responsive. Every boss telegraphs just enough to be fair. When you die, it's your fault, and when you win, it feels earned. No luck needed. This thing never crashed, loads fast, and runs smooth like butter. 3 people made a game more stable than half of Ubisoft's catalog. That alone deserves respect. There's no tutorials, no hand-holding, just you, the nail, and a lot of deaths. The game trusts you to figure things out on your own, which in my case isn't a really good idea. But when you do, you feel amazing. It doesn't pat you on the back. I know you may wish it did, but it does let you know how far you've come. There's also tons of small details that bring everything together. The camera shakes just enough when you get hit, the dust trails, the ambient bugs, even the idle animations. All of it adds up. Nothing feels unfinished. Except for those 77% of people. Couldn't be me. So yeah, Hollow Knight is a lot like my last relationship, both beautiful and exhausting. All the good things about it makes it countless hours and money lost sting a little less. I'm glad I finished Hollow Knight, not because I wanted to see the ending, but because I never have to touch it again. It's one of those games that feel more satisfying to beat than play. The boss fights that once you've died enough to learn the patterns are the highlight in my opinion. Let me emphasize, in my opinion. That moment where everything clicks and you suddenly know exactly what to do next. Chef's kiss. But everything between those moments feel like trudging through a maze that doesn't respect your time. It's not a bad game. Actually, far from it. It's beautiful, polished, and it actually impressed me. But to me, it's done. I don't want to 100% it. I don't want 112% it. I'm done. And I'm okay with that. Finishing it didn't change my life, but it did make me understand where all those mean comments came from. My rating still stands. Maybe just a little bit higher. Hopefully my opinion gets more respect now that I beat the game. At the end of the day, I'll always prefer games like Borderlands. Loud, chaotic, fun, and with personality that doesn't take itself too seriously. But I respect Hollow Knight for what it is. It tried to be timeless, and in a lot of ways it is. It's just not for me, and that's the truth about Hollow Knight. Now, this isn't the type of game I usually play. I'm more into the dumb, cursed, and lesser known indie stuff. Like this.
Senji.
Yeah.
$10 to up dog across that.
Up dog.
Yo!
Yeah, you didn't think I could do it, huh?
I did it. Up dog.
So if you want to see what I normally put myself through, click the video on the screen. Hope to see you in my future videos.